Hello lovely viewers, welcome to our channel. In today's lesson, we shall look at writing the formal letter. Please, if you have not watched our previous lesson on the formal letter, kindly check the link in the description below to watch it. Let's get straight into today's lesson. The formal letter begins with the writer's address. As the name implies, the writer's address is the address of the person writing the letter. The writer's address is written at the top right-hand corner of the page. It can either be punctuated or not punctuated. The writer's address has at least 3 lines. The first line contains the name of the institution, company, or government ministry, and many others. The second line contains the postal address. The third line contains the name of the place, town, village, or city of the writer. Here is an example of the writer's address in block format and punctuated. Boku Senior High School, P.O. Box 40, Boku, full stop. The first line contains the name of the institution, which is Boku Senior High School, followed by a comma. The second line contains the postal address, which is P.O. Box 40, followed by a comma. Then our last line contains the name of the town, which is Boku, followed by a full stop. Take note, the full stop usually comes on the last line of the address if you choose to punctuate it. The remaining lines take the comma. Please, you can choose not to punctuate your address as well. Let us look at the case where you decide to add the region. You could choose to add the region or the district. So if you choose to do so, bring it immediately below the town or city. Please do not abbreviate the region. Write it in full. Upper East region. So, when your address contains 4 lines, then the full stop should come on the 4th line. This is the punctuated method. Remember, you can choose not to punctuate this as well. Now, let us look at the date. The date on which the letter is written comes immediately below the writer's address. Please take note, the date is not part of the address. So, you can choose to leave 1 line, then write the date, but it is also acceptable if you do not leave any line. There are 2 commonly used forms of the date. Here are examples. 4th November, 2021, full stop. November 4, 2021, full stop. Please be careful not to abbreviate your date. And do not use only figures in writing your date. Make sure the date is written in full. Here is an example of the address together with the date. Now, let us look at the recipient's address. This is the address of the person to whom the letter is sent. This is written at the left-hand side of the page immediately below the date. Please take note, do not attach date to the recipient's address. The date is written only once below the writer's address. The recipient's address is usually made up of at least 4 lines. This implies your recipient's address should not be less than 4 lines. The first line contains the official title of the recipient. The second line contains the name of the company or organization of the recipient. Third line contains the postal address. Then the last line, the name of the town, city, or village. Here is an example of the recipient's address. The headmaster, Navrongo Senior High School, P.O. Box 50, Navrongo, full stop. Please, your writer's address must be relevant to the question. If the question demands you write to the headmaster, begin with the headmaster. If the question demands you write to the district chief executive, begin with the district chief executive. The next thing we shall look at is the salutation. The acceptable forms of salutation for the formal letter include the following: Dear Sir, Dear Madam, Please take note of something here. Dear begins with capital D. Sir begins with capital S, followed by a comma. The same thing applies to the second example. Dear begins with a capital letter D. Madam begins with capital letter M. Dear Sir is used for males, while Dear Madam is used for female. Take note, the salutation is usually followed by a comma, and it is written immediately below the recipient's address. The name of the recipient is not used in the salutation of formal letters. Also, it is wrong to begin the salutation of a formal letter with hi, hello, or my dear. Now let us look at the heading. The heading serves as summary of the subject matter of the letter. The reader should know what the entire letter is about by simply looking at the heading. It is often written in block capitals and underlined. It is written immediately below the salutation. Now, let us look at an example of the heading. Permission to be absent from school, underlined. Please take note, your heading must be relevant to your question. If your question is asking you to write about the causes of teenage pregnancy, then your heading should be the causes of teenage pregnancy. If the question demands that you write about youth unemployment in Ghana, then your heading should be youth unemployment in Ghana. So always make sure that your heading is relevant to your question. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. In today's lesson, we looked at the writer's address, the date, the recipient's address, the salutation, and the heading. Please let me know if you have learned something today in the comment section. I'll be there to go through all your comments. And please remember to subscribe to this channel, like the video, and share it to others so that they can also benefit from it.